Hello, today we're going to look at how you build a web page, a basic web page with HTML. Now, first of all, we need to use an editor, a text editor, and we're going to use Notepad, which you'll find on your computers. So we just type in Notepad, enter, and here we have a new Notepad document. Now, we also need, before we start, to create a folder for HTML in our ICT areas of our computer. So call it HTML, new folder. Within that, we also create another folder called web page, where we're going to store our web page document. And within that, we will also store a folder for putting in images. Now here I'm just going to draw on our Project Sienna astronauts pictures again, which were JPEGs, so there they are. So we need to get that all in order, set up before we start. Now, going back to our Notepad document, with HTML we're writing text code, and we have to set up a page in the right way. So this is the structure. First of all, we need to use the angle brace, the left angle brace, enclosing the following. We need exclamation mark, doc type, space, HTML, right angle bracket. Now this says that our document is going to be an HTML version 5 document. That's what this code tells the browser, and we commence our page of code with that statement, doc type HTML, preceded by an exclamation mark. Now, okay, next thing is I'll put a couple of spaces there, it doesn't really matter, and we're going to start coding our document. First of all, we're going to put in another angle bracket, and we're going to call this style, and then I'm going to hit enter, put down, leave a bit more space, and we're going to close this tag. Now these are called tags, so style / style, close the angle bracket. This means that I can start putting in styles to format my HTML document, my web page, a little bit later on. Now, I might just blow this document up, and here we are. So I now continue building our page. So I'm going to next put in a head section, and in fact I think I've got this wrong. What I should be doing is putting the head section to enclose the style, so I'll just backspace a little bit there. The head section encloses the style code. The head section is stuff that we don't actually see on screen. Alright, so everything within the head, including the styles, is not something we're going to see on screen usually, because what goes on screen is the next tag, the next pair of tags, and that is the body of the page, literally called body. And I'll enter down quite a way, leaving a bit of space. It doesn't matter how far, but just leave a bit of space. And we again close the tag with the /, so body. So we have pairs of tags in HTML to build pages. So what I've actually forgotten to put in again, just doing this off the top of my head, is an overall HTML tag which encloses the entire page. All right, so after your closing body tag, you need to actually put in a closing HTML tag. Now, okay, so this is the basic structure of a page, of a web page, right? And inside the body and the styles, we put in stuff that makes your page appear on screen when you open it as a web page. Now, first thing I'm going to do is save this, and you've got to be very careful with the way you save this. So I'm going to save this as, now normally Notepad documents save as documents with a .text, as you can see here, a .text extension. Now what I'm going to do is find where I've set up my folders, but before I do that I need to name this page. So in place of the asterisk you can see here, I'm going to delete that and put in my first web page as my title, and in place of the text extension I simply keep the dot point, but then after that I save it as HTML. Alright, so it's not a text document exactly anymore, it's going to be our web page. Now I've just got to find where I've put that, and you would have to do the same. So I'll go into my SkyDrive and looking for Year 8 ICT, I look for my HTML folder, and there it is there, and there's the folder for my web page. So I'm just going to go save that. Now if I were to go back to that, right, that's my HTML document there called my first web page, and you notice that it's now taken on the icon of my default browser, which in this case is Google Chrome. If I click on it, it actually won't show anything. Alright, you can see the path to it there, but the page shows nothing because I really haven't put anything into this page. Okay, so that's building our web page. I go back to our HTML document. There it is, nothing in it, just the structure. Alright, so that's the way you create a web page with exactly that structure in that order pretty much. Otherwise things won't come out the way you expect them.